This is the Generation Report. In a past life, I studied international relations in Washington, D.C. at a school I'm sure everyone listening has heard of. As a student, like everyone else who was there, I was surrounded by discussions and debates on almost every issue in the international relations field. But with the benefit of hindsight, it's clear that there was something that I almost never encountered during those years, and that was a perspective on the world which diverted from the accepted orthodoxy. All of the accompanying narratives one might expect came with being in that environment. About the purpose of international organizations, about the need for an international climate policy, about the reasons for certain long-standing conflicts in the world, you name it. None of the world's long-standing conflicts were discussed more than the Israeli-Palestinian situation. And early on, I noticed that when those conversations took place in class and elsewhere, the arguments accepted as rational and neutral were always the ones which defended the Palestinian position. In an environment where the objective was to teach and equip aspiring young professionals to change the world, according to the common understanding of that phrase, certain positions were inherently rational and others were not. To put it another way, according to the orthodoxy which infused the program, the campus, and the institution, certain positions were correct and others were not. There is obviously a lot to unpack from that story, and I want to be careful about overgeneralizing too much. But there is no doubt that higher education has, with precious few exceptions, incubated and promulgated a single overarching view of the world for a long time. What's more, higher education and the modern meritocracy are so closely linked as to be effectively synonymous. And I have seen and experienced firsthand how the modern meritocracy conditions people, especially the most ambitious, to adopt, accept, and espouse certain beliefs. One of the issues I have with the Fourth Turning is Here's framing of today's ideological disagreements is that it seems to assume a level playing field of ideas. By that I mean, the book doesn't account for the ways in which different ideas have wildly different influences based on where the ideas come from, how they spread, and the advantages conferred on those who hold them. As a follow-up to that, the book seems uninterested in considering the degree to which these kinds of imbalances are responsible for the modern obsession with identity politics. The playing field of ideas today is decidedly not level. In a context where the tenets of identity politics have become so all-encompassing that they define the milieu in which students learn and in which education bureaucrats advance their careers, it follows naturally that the logic of identity politics will be the overriding influence on what the former believe and on what the latter say. Recent events have driven this fact home in a way that has made it completely unignorable. Right now, a lot of opinions are being offered about what can be done with colleges and universities, if anything. But the point which cannot be emphasized enough is that the spread of corrosive ideas they have contributed to is irreversible. There will be plenty of time and opportunities to make a full assessment of the impact down the road. In the meantime, the battle of ideas rolls on. In closing, I recommend that anyone who has a particular interest in the crisis of higher education and has not yet read Gad Saad's book, The Parasitic Mind, to pick it up and read it. He is looking very prophetic right now. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share if you enjoy this series. Merry Christmas to you and yours. I'm Paul Zimi Finn. May God bless America.